Hi folks, we're back today with another video, and this video is going to be a full tutorial on the cow barn with the feeding robot in Farming Simulator 22. Now, we are going to look at how the barn works. We're going to look at a couple differences between this barn and the other barns and the pasture. And we're also going to look at fully how to use it so that all the needs are satisfied for the animals and so that you can start making product and then eventually money from the cow barn. So first of all, we're going to look at the menu page for the animals, and you'll see here that I bought 80 cows, which is the maximum for this barn, and I bought them all at 0 months old. So they have to age over time. Once they become 18 months old, they will be able to start breeding, and until then, all they are going to produce is slurry, manure, and at 12 months they can start producing milk. So first of all, we're going to see how we can fill up this productivity bar by feeding it everything that it needs to be fed and just satisfying all the needs for this barn. Now, thankfully, because this barn comes with a feeding robot, we don't actually need to manually deposit all of the items. And because it's a barn and not a pasture, it'll automatically give water to the cows, so we don't actually need to do it manually as well. To look at the first items, we have all the foods here that need to be deposited. So this spot right here is for hay, this spot here is for straw, and this spot here is for silage. We will start by feeding it one of those, or sorry, all three of those items. There we go, and as you probably saw in that sped up clip, my head apparently wasn't screwed on properly because I accidentally tried to put straw in that hay spot. But anyways, yes, so there we go, that's all three items in those three slots. And I mean, how you keep the bales or loose items, that's completely up to you. Personally, what I like to do is I have stacks of each of the three items here right next to the barn at all times so that I can just quickly grab them and throw them in as needed, while I have the remaining bales stored someplace else, like in a shed, for example. We have all those items, and the robot will eventually grab all three of those and feed them to the cows so that we don't have to manually, which is awesome. Now, it won't actually feed the animals yet until we fulfill this need, which I kind of wish it showed in here, but it doesn't. Mineral feed is required for the total mixed ration, so we will have to get some mineral feed and put it right next to that silo there, and then it'll start to feed the animals. So I will go and grab a skid of that. Perfect, so I got this skid of mineral feed, and you can put it in the spot just like this, if you so wish, and it will deposit all the mineral feed from the skid into the animal barn. Now, you can bring it by skid if you want, or you can fill the skids into a trailer and deposit dump the trailer into that spot. Now, unfortunately, and I'm not exactly sure why, but for some reason, mineral feed fills into a trailer dreadfully slow, unlike any other big bag or pallet, and I don't know why. So, I mean, if you're filling a few skids into the trailer, it's not a big deal, but, I mean, if your order looks like this, and you're filling the skids one by one, I mean, look at that in the bottom right, how slow it goes. So if your order looks like this, you're just going to be sitting here for like a half an hour getting all these skids into this trailer. So it is an option, or you can bring them skid by skid, or you can throw all of them onto a trailer with a pallet fork and bring the whole trailer over. That works too. So that's up to you how you want to get that mineral feed over to the cow barn. But nonetheless, so yes, we satisfied all the needs for this feeding robot to start feeding the animals. So I will speed up the game and show you how that works. So the robot just takes from the silage, takes from the straw, takes from the hay, and deposits it into this little tank thing. And then that tank thing comes out of this door and goes into this door or the other side, I can't remember which. And it deposits all of the food for the cows for you, so that you don't have to. And note in the bottom right, you'll see that there are the values for how much hay, straw, and silage are in these 3 slots here. So you can keep track of how much is in these 3 slots, while you can keep track of how much food the animals have by looking at the animal menu. And even though the robot hasn't actually physically left this bay yet to go and feed the animals, it shows here as the animals have food. So it does it for you, and you don't actually need to wait until the physical machine goes and feeds them. It'll do that promptly. The next thing we're going to look at satisfying is this value right here, which is the straw. Now, although we deposited straw in this spot right here, straw is needed also for bedding for the cows. And it's honestly up to you if you want to do that or not. It makes a difference depending on what you're aiming for. So, if you're looking to get manure from the cows, then... Oops, I just realized it's nighttime. Let me skip ahead until it's day again. I can't see a thing. Perfect, so we're back now in daylight. But anyways, yes, so... basically, if you don't want to get manure, then you don't actually need to give them straw, and the cows will actually still yield slurry and milk. Milk, of course, at 12 months. Though, if you do want manure, then you do need to add straw for bedding, because manure is a combination of straw and you know, cow poop. So I'm going to show you guys now how to get the straw, and let me just grab my bale spike. You're going to want to purchase one of these red guys right here, which you can find under the animal section right here. Now, it doesn't matter which one you pick. I went with this one personally, but really it doesn't matter. So I'm going to hook this guy up to my tractor just temporarily and bring it over to closer to where the straw is. And I'm going to throw 2 bales of straw in this trailer, which is what it can fit. There we go. So we got both straw bales in this trailer. And so what we're going to do is grab it with a tractor, and we're going to carry it inside of the cow barn. So just swing around in here, and the doors of this barn are by default closed, so you're just going to need to open them before you attempt to go inside. And really, you're just going to drive up in here and start overloading. It'll give you an indicator right here, start overloading the straw, and it's going to slice up the straw bales and spread it into the cow barn. Now, it spreads by itself. It kind of counts as just one deposit location, so you don't actually need to physically move back and forth to make sure that it's properly dispersed. Even though you're shooting it in one concentrated area, it'll still disperse by itself. So I'm going to finish with depositing all this straw, and I believe the maximum that it holds is 38,000 liters, and each of these straw bales that I purchased from the store are 8,000 liters. So I'm just going to throw a bunch in until it's near full or completely full. Perfect, so we have just fully satisfied the straw for bedding value right here. So yes, the maximum is 38,000. And I was actually mistaken, these bales are 9,000 liters of straw, not 8. But if you are like me, and you are going to become irritated by the fact that there's still a partial bale left in this trailer, you can actually swing around here and deposit the remaining straw into the straw spot right here. So then your trailer will be empty, and it won't just be a partial bale, it'll be a full bale next time you decide to load this trailer. Perfect, so now we've fully satisfied the needs for the cows. We've given it straw for bedding, and we have also given it food. Now they will actually start yielding all of the outcomes. Now, unfortunately, you'll notice here that the value for manure is not here. The reason being is because the cow barns in Farming Simulator 22 do not actually come with a manure heap. It only comes with a storage for slurry and also for milk. So if you want to start yielding manure, you're going to have to deposit straw for bedding, and also you're going to actually have to place a manure heap manually. If you are planning on doing this, be sure to leave space around your cow barn so that you can actually place a manure heap. Now, when you go and place a manure heap, there is, let's see where it is. There's this one right here. This is not the one that we are looking for. What we're looking for is the one under silo extensions, manure heap extension, and we're going to place this one. As you notice, when I go too far, it'll say a manure heap needs to be placed next to a barn. When we're close to it, it'll actually work. So we could just twist it like that because the pickup side is on the far side, so it's easy to pick up. Or I guess it doesn't really matter where I put it all that much. I can put it here if I want to. So I'll put it right here. Oops, not right there because that overlaps apparently. Okay, how about right here? There we go. We have the actual heap next to the barn now, and it still won't show a value for the amount of accrued manure, but it will indeed actually start accruing in that manure heap. The next thing to go through is the actual slurry that comes out. Now, the tank of slurry, I believe it's on the other side. I don't know exactly where it's stored in the barn, but basically it comes out somewhere around, it comes out of this pipe right here. Although, unfortunately, the actual storage for slurry in this barn by default is, like, wicked low. Like, barely anything. So, usually what I try to do is, with additional space around my barn, I go into silo extensions and place either one of these. I try to see if I can get this one, although it's pretty big. So, you know, not all maps give you that kind of space where you can place this. And unfortunately, sometimes this is the only option. But I mean, the default storage in this barn is like maybe enough to fill one slurry tank. It's not very much. So I definitely recommend placing at least one extension, whether it's a small one or a large one. So if I place this guy right there, now you'll see the amount of slurry, like this bar, significantly decreased in height. And now it's going to fill up to, I don't even remember how much that actually was. It's going to fill up to 2.6 million plus the default, however much it is, 80,000 liters that store in this barn. Now in terms of where to pick these items up, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit in the game so that I can show you guys where to pick everything up. Perfect, so we're back now, not too much later. And I'm pulling up with this manure spreader right up here next to the heap, and you'll see that I'm able to start filling from the pile into this trailer. So you can literally just grab a spreader trailer and bring it over to the heap and start filling it up. In addition, if you don't want to use a spreader, and the spreaders are all right here, and I think I have this one right here, yep. If you don't want to use a spreader because they are insanely expensive and you just want to sell it instead of spreading it onto your fields, you can just use any, or not any, but most trailers. Like for example, if I go to this semi-trailer right here, you'll see here that whenever it scrolls over, there it is right there, this trailer is compatible with manure, so you can fill it into that trailer and just bring it directly to a selling point if you so desire, instead of spreading it onto your fields. The next item to look at is slurry, and now with slurry you can't just pick it up with any typical liquid tank. You need to actually use a slurry tank, like dedicated for slurry, and if you go right under this pipe you'll see the indicator to start filling, and then you can fill it up from there. Now the tank that I have, I believe, is just a transportation tank, so this is not one that I would use on a field to spread the slurry. This is just one that I would use, for example, to just pick it up here and then bring it to sell. So if you go in here, you'll see somewhere, I don't know which one or where, this one, yeah, it is this one. So it'll always say in the description that it can transport liquids or if it can actually spread. like this guy right, I don't know, I can't even find one that has what I'm looking for. There we go. I think this is good. No, it's not even. Anyways, nonetheless, you can actually get a tank that you can fill it up at the cow barn, and then you would attach one of these guys to it. I'm not sure if it's specifically this one. If you go down here and hit combinations, so yeah, that one works. And in addition, another one works. But basically, yeah. So if you grab the slurry in one of these tanks instead of the green one that I'm using, which is not that one, so I don't even know why I clicked on it. This one right here. This one's only for transporting. This one here is for actual spreading, as long as you connect it to one of these guys as well. The final thing to go through is milk. And milk, you can really just use any standard liquid trailer. Actually, that might not be true. Maybe you can only use a couple of them. Because there are liquid trailers that carry milk and water, and then there are just trailers that carry only water, I think. So I'm going to grab this trailer right here, which, to be specific, is under animals. So yeah, if you grab one of these, it's only for water, while if you grab one of these two right here, it can also be used for milk. So if you grab one of these guys, the pickup spot for milk is at these green doors, small green doors right here. And because the cows are too young, they can't produce milk, but basically you would pick up the milk here. It'll have same idea as the slurry and the manure. It'll just have a start filling. Actually, it does have that in the top left right now, although there's no milk to fill it with. And you can just fill it up from here and either bring it to a selling point or to a production building to make cheese or chocolate or something like that. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you guys have any further requests for tutorials in Farming Simulator, please make sure to let me know in the comments. Cheers guys, I'll see you next time.